Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. It is 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and today is day 3 of our incredible, amazing Build Your Brand Challenge, and it's my birthday. So I'm super excited to be here with you on my birthday. It's the reason I chose to do this challenge this week because doing what I'm about to do, sharing all the tips and tricks, as many as I can fit into an hour with you about what I've done over the last 20 years to build my brand and build all the things that I am doing and all the things that I'm excited about. I just love doing it. I don't, necessarily get paid to do that. I'm on my lunch break, kind of taking a break from work in order to share this with you. But it is such an incredible time to be able to get who you are and what you care about into the world. So I'm super passionate about this, and I'm very excited that you decided to join me here. So thank you very much for that. As I mentioned, am live with you. I'm going to go and check my chat. Hopefully, we are live. We'll see. I will wait for my friends. Oh, good. I have more and more people joining. If you are coming to me live on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, please just put a hashtag that you can hear me, hashtag live, or just say hi and let me know that you are here. So thank you so much. Super excited about today. And we're going to go ahead and get started. I have a ton of things I want to share with you. And of course, like I said, it's my birthday, so I'm super excited. I did end up losing my voice this week. It started last week. All of my kids were not feeling well. And I ended up getting not really feeling sick, but getting I was like, oh, there's something there. Took some emergency. And then over the last few days, I've spoken at about 17 different events in the last 2 weeks for International Women's Day. And my voice was just like done. So, oh well, that's okay. I keep going, right? And so I won't be screaming at the top of my lungs on this episode of this, but I will. And if I need to, I may have to pop a Halls or cough drop. And I have some water ready, so I am all prepared, right? Ready for this. Can't hear you on Facebook. Dang it! Why, Claudia? Can you hear me on LinkedIn? I don't know what's wrong with Facebook. So the platform I'm using, I'm not going to throw them under a bus, but they've been having some challenges over. Oh, good, you can hear me. Awesome. So LinkedIn is live. I don't know what's up with Facebook. So sorry about that. But the good news is this is recorded regardless. So I always post this recording to YouTube so you guys can watch the whole thing no matter where you ended up chiming in. Thank you so much for my birthday wishes. For those of you who joined the challenge, which you can still do to this day, you can go out to Inclusion Inspires. I love that name. inclusioninspires.com/challenge. You can sign up and I will send you day 1, 2, and 3 emails so you can get a recap of what we've talked about, all the links and references. Thank you so much. Yeah, I do. I have, who's that? Oh my gosh, Delilah. Do you guys know who Delilah is? I named my cat Delilah, as a matter of fact. Anyway, she's like this amazing late night host, music, like DJ on the radio. Yeah, I have that voice now, raspy. So thank you for noticing. Anyway, having a great time today. Thank you for so much for joining me. Wonderful. Yes, thank you. Great. Good to see you all. I'm so excited to have you here. Okay. So as I was mentioning, I do this every year and sometimes twice a year. I may do it more often because I just think we are at a critical moment in time where people need what I call love fluencers. You can kind of see it up there in my other screen. But love fluencers, it is a platform really for teaching people how to promote themselves, promote what they do, what they care about, what they value, and the value that they bring to the world in a way that doesn't feel yucky, right? That I don't have to, like now, I hardly have any makeup on. Like, I tried, it was my birthday. I was like, let me get just I was late to school getting the kids. Like, I'm just happy to be here. But we can be ourselves, be truly authentic, and just show up and talk however we talk and say the things that we care about. And we don't have to bottle it up, package it, and, put a shiny rose colored tint to it. Right? We could just be us. And that when we have something of value to the world and we present it in a certain way, which is what we're going to cover today, the world will respond. Not the whole world, but our world, the world that resonates with who we are and what we do. So awesome, wonderful, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. So, what we're going to do now is we are going to I'm going to walk you through the tips for today. So, every day, my goal was to share 21 tips with you. We've already gone through at least 14 because I do 7 and then I stop counting, but at least 14. And today we're going to do another 7. Hello, Flavia. Good to see you. My family's in the house. All of you are, of course, my friends and family, which you'll see a little bit more tomorrow. But one thing, I'm going to go through 7 more today. So we're going to be day 3 and already at 21 tips and tricks for the week, which you won't be able to apply them all. You won't be able to use them all. That's why it's a great idea to join the challenge, right? Join the challenge because you'll get a list of all this stuff and you could just put it in your toolbox. Because I'll tell you, when I built the Lovefluencer brand, when I built the Women of Web3 brand, I didn't, whenever I used to get ideas to build something, I didn't have all the pieces. I didn't know all the things. And so I'd be like, oh, that's such a good idea. I wish I knew what I could do with it. Right. And I'd buy the domain name and that was it. Right. Or I'd buy the domain name and set up the website, but that was it. Then I'd buy the domain name, set the website up, create an email list. But then that was it. Now, which is what we're going to cover today, now I know how to create an offer. I know how to build value. I know how to exchange my value with someone for whether it's money, whether it's an opportunity to speak at their conference, whatever it is, right? There's value there. Delilah, oh gosh. Yes, Delilah can be my stage name. That's fantastic. Hey, Frank, what's up? Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate you all being here. All right, here we go. So, the very first thing I want to talk to you about. So let me just recap. Day 1 was a phenomenal day. No technical glitches whatsoever. I was so happy with how that turned out because we covered so much good stuff, right? We covered your why and uncovering not just like your goals, which of course we all have goals, but then why do we have those goals? And we asked the 5 why question, right? We asked, we set our goals, personal, professional, and financial. And then we asked, well, why do I have that goal? And then when we got a why, we asked why again. And we dug a little bit deeper each time to uncover, right, why we actually really, truly want to do what we want to do. And usually it ends up being something like, I want to serve the world in a certain way. I want to serve my family or my children, or I want to do something, right? And it's really cool when that exercise is done with integrity, how that works out. So the next thing, and then of course, in addition to the why, we learned to talk about what value we bring, right? So we did our 1 sentence structure. Some of you did the homework, so we've got a couple people vying for the. I can't use it because it's propping up my phone, but the little Pivo remote robotic assisted cameraman. It's so awesome. I'm so excited. I can't wait to use it this weekend. So you'll see, we talked about like, how do you get your actual message into the world? Well, it starts with like a 30-second opener, right? We don't jump into the 3-hour version of who we are and where we've been, right? We have a 30-second, and I think the framework we ended up using, and it's in that email recap that you'll get if you join the challenge. It's also in the workbook, but that format was, I help or empower so and so, right? What demographic? And you have to be extremely specific, right? You can't just say, I help everyone or I help all people. Like, you want to be specific. I help women and people of color in technology, right? Like, that's pretty specific. The more specific you get, the better. There are 7.5 billion people or so on the planet. You need to be specific as to who you go after with your message. You won't resonate with everyone. And as a matter of fact, that we're going to talk about this today, you don't want to, right? You want a very fine-tuned message so that someone, when they connect with you, they're like, oh my gosh, Noelle's my friend. We get each other. We've been in the same place. And not everyone will be there, but that relationship will allow you to create more healthy exchanges. And I'll talk to you more about that in just a second. So we went through that exercise. Yesterday, we talked about the vehicles. And so I don't know how many of you actually went through this exercise, but it's such a powerful thing to do where you sit down and you take any topic really, but we had worked on our backstory. So I had suggested you use your backstory and you write it, whether you're good at writing or not, you take the time and you write it like a blog, you record it like a podcast, and you record it like a YouTube video or like a CNN interview or CBS or whatever. I don't know. I don't watch TV, so don't judge my letters that I call out. Right? So you do one writing like you're going to post it online, one audio like you're going to put it on, iTunes, and another one like it would go on TV. And which one was the easiest for you, the most exciting for you? And mind you, all of them could be bad, right? All of them could be a flavor of discomfort. But I'll encourage you that one of them has to have a little less friction than the other, typically, right? Some of us are writers, some of us are talkers, some of us love the camera, right? So depending on who you are, you now have your vehicle. And I gave you a couple tools and resources and links to go and create your channel in the vehicle of your choice. So now here we are today. We've got our channel, right? We know we know where we're going to put our content. We know what we're passionate about and the value that we bring to the world. So today, naturally, we have to get to a point where we're going to, hello, welcome. We have to get to a point where we're going to deliver this value to the world in some way. Now, many of you probably know this, but the world, well, let's just say even the Western world, our attention span is pretty short. Some say a goldfish, some say shorter than a goldfish. I don't even know a goldfish's attention span, but I think it's somewhere around 7 seconds is what I heard the research say, right? So when you create your content and share your story and build value that you want to exchange with the world, you're going to have to do it at least at first in a medium and in a capacity that the world can hear you. And that means short, little snippets, right? Samples of your content. Now, I'm not saying you can't do long form content and you can't do, 45-minute podcasts. Absolutely, you can. But the world, when we start moving into social media, it's almost like any classical marketing, right? When a company wanted to build a relationship with us as consumers years ago, what did they do? They put a 30-second spot in the middle of our favorite television program, right? Or right before cartoons started on a Saturday morning. But some of you are younger and maybe are like, what? Cartoons Saturday? I can watch cartoons whenever I want, right? But it does give us this capability. So, and yeah, so hopefully, I think some people, thank you for commenting that you couldn't hear me on Facebook because other people have seen that comment and have moved to another platform. So thank you. This is why it is important when you do decide to go live and do decide to share your content that you have a bunch of backups, right? Like I am live on Instagram. I am live on 4 other platforms. Like they can't all fail. Yesterday, all but one failed, which, hey, like I'm glad I had the 5th one going. But it happens. And thank you all so much for the birthday wishes. Today definitely is my birthday and I'm super excited about it. All right. So as we start today, the very first thing I want to talk to you about is how do we craft, or really who do we craft our message for? So I learned a lot of my basically online business building skills over the last 10 to 15 years from someone, his name's Russell Brunson. And I've been following him and I've gone to his workshops long before he is, like today is a little bit more popular. He has a huge conference and all that. But back then he was like just a speaker on a stage with a bunch of other speakers. But I liked his message because he was very authentic. He was very like, this is who I am. This is my family. I'm a family guy. Like he was very, very much resonated with the kind of person I wanted to be on social media. And so I started reading everything that he wrote, and he he would do workshops, he would do lots of sessions that eventually became the books that he wrote. But one book that I love is called Expert Secrets. And it actually is a sequel. So it goes in conjunction with a book prior to it that if you read Expert Secrets, you should read the first book. It's like watching, right, the second Star Wars, or wait, the seventh Star Wars. And anyway, it's like watching something out of sequence. It is a trilogy that he ended up writing. The first one's called .com Secrets, the second one Expert Secrets, and the third one is Traffic Secrets. And they're all, it's nice because it's called Secrets, but it's really just unveiling this like mythical world of building an online business successfully. And I finally cracked it like 3 years ago, finally built my first business that generated revenue. And I was like, this actually works, because for a decade I tried to do it and I couldn't get it to work. I could make $1 and I was like, great, I'll just do that 1 million more times. I don't know how many of you have been there, right? Or I could make $100, but I couldn't catch fire, right? I couldn't get it to replace my income, for example, right? So I really wanted to figure it out. And Expert Secrets, for someone like myself who's very interested in branding and building out my message and sharing, my message is always part of who I am, not just the company that I work for. And so really, thank you so much. So really very interested in being an authentic voice in the world. And the world needs more of them now more than ever, right? We're even starting to turn away from those kind of masquerading personas and looking for those that are more authentic and more real. And so that's the good news, is that it couldn't be a better time to do this. So the first thing that I encourage you to do as you go on this journey is to identify 100 dream, we call them dream clients or dream partners. Like in social media, there's two different lists. So the first one is, who are 100 people that you wish you could share a stage with, be on a podcast with, that like resonate with your message, are complementary with you, right? Like do similar things that you do. They're not competition, right? Because the world has no scarcity. So it's not competitive, but these are the people that you're like, oh my gosh, I want to be like them. I want to be in that circle, right? You write them down. And here's the hardest thing. Well, I'll start first with one activity I did in my social media is I created a professional social media account. So Noelle.ai, which is how I know most of you and how you are watching me here on Instagram, is my professional account. I have a friends and family account, which is where I post pictures of my children. Some people have lived a life that does not require them to care whether or not they post their kids on social media. My life has not been that way. So I don't want to have my kids on social media. Every time I do it, I instantly delete it because I feel like this weird sense of like, I don't want to do that. Right. And so that's just my experience. If you are comfortable with it, post your kids. Like lots of people do it. I just choose not to post my children on social media. So I have a personal account, which has a very limited, controlled set of followers and people that I follow. And then I have this account, Noelle.ai on Instagram. And this is true for LinkedIn as well. Like it's very curated, my experience. When I go to social media, I am no longer a consumer. I do not consume social media in the traditional sense. The first thing I do, and I call it, I talked about this yesterday, create before you consume, right? So I always create content before I spend an hour or 15 minutes scrolling through content, right? I always build a reel before I earn the ability to scroll through for 15 minutes. But even, excuse me, even when I'm scrolling through social media, I'm looking for ideas, right? I'm not actually scrolling through to like lose myself or escape from the world. I'm scrolling through, excuse me, I'm scrolling through to get ideas on how I could get my message into the world, leveraging things that are pretty popular right now. So, how do you make sure that your feed, when you start scrolling, is full of ideas? This is where our first tip is documenting your dream 100. I call it the dream 100 because these could be your dream customers, people that you wish would do business with you. They could also be your dream partners, people that you wish you could share the stage with or get on stage with, or your dream, collaborators, your dream joint venture people, right, that will market what you do. Make a list of the people you want to be in your inner circle, right, of your organization. And this list becomes who you follow on social media. And that's it. Why would you spend your time anywhere else? Right? So I went and unfollowed. I apologize. I was following, I don't know, 600 people. And for those of you who will follow thousands of people, like this might be hard. But not if you create a new account, right? And you start over for your business, for your message you're going to get into the world. So I literally unfollowed everyone. And when I unfollowed everyone, I then refollowed the people in my Dream 100. Now, one thing happened though is that as I started unfollowing people, I have followed like young women in tech that I want to support. I have followed maybe mid-career women in tech that I want to support. And I was like, oh, I don't want to unfollow them. And they're people who haven't opened up their follows, right? So I get a warning from Instagram saying, are you sure you want to unfollow this person? Because you will have to ask them to follow again. And I was like, I'm not sure, right? So you'll see if you go into who I follow, there's a bunch of people I would consider my Dream 100, but there's also a bunch of people that I just want to support. And that's, again, it'll fall on you to make that choice. Sorry. All right. I know. That's all right. Thank you for joining, though, Desiree. And it's on replay, so I'll definitely make sure you get that. But yeah, day 3, here we go. Hopefully I can make it through without coughing too much. Okay, I feel like we're good now. Okay, so Dream 100, that's the first thing. Literally take a book, a notebook, and write it down. A legal pad, a spiral notebook. Write it down. Put it in an Excel spreadsheet or put it in a Google sheet, right? Write down who your Dream 100 is. Don't just write down their name, write down their social media handles that you know about. And then guess what you're going to do? You're going to write down a column called Last Contacted, and you're going to foster a relationship with these people. Now, I know, trust me, I'm a mom of, right, a bunch of kids, and my dad lives with me, and my life is busy. I'm an executive at IBM. I have a lot of things that I'm doing in my day. But this Dream 100 is my chance. I carve out, and we'll talk about this a little later today. I carve out 15 minutes a day to scroll social media. But really what I do is I engage with my Dream 100. I send them messages, I engage with their content, I, throw a little fire in a comment on one of their posts. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be present and authentic. Like that's why I love it, because I curate my Dream 100, right? I make that list. And so when I'm commenting on people, I can honestly say, I wish I could work with you. I wish we had an opportunity to collaborate. When I say that, I 100% mean it. All right, let me check on these. Hello, everybody. What's up, Joe? So one of the questions, thanks, Joe, is how do you decide who's on your Dream 100? What is your criteria? So literally, the criteria is if I was twice as confident and twice as strong, who would I reach out to like they were my friend and ask them to work with me? That's my Dream 100. So if you go and look, you'll see. It's like, for me, it's Tony Robbins, Alicia Keys. Oh my gosh, yesterday she did this really cool thing, which when I go big, I'm totally going to start doing, called best friend therapy. And she was doing it for strangers. And she said super authentically, and she was so awesome. She was like, I'm a good listener. I'm a good best friend. So let me be your best friend. And she'd randomly pick people who had problems and talk through them. What? How beautiful is that for your community? So I really enjoyed that and was like, oh my gosh, I'm modeling that. I love it. I'm doing that. I'm totally doing best friends therapy. This is kind of my best friends therapy though right now, except you guys don't get to interact with me. So I'm totally going to move that to Instagram, and we're going to do some of that later. The second, so some other people, Jessica Alba, J-Lo, right? Like women, Latinas, like people, biracial women, really interesting. Like I'm looking like, who would I love to work with? I make that list and I follow those people. I support the people that eventually will be supporting me. And I see every single day those relationships growing and blossoming. I see it in my mind's eye, and I also put work into it a little bit every day. I think I told you guys on Monday, when I write my goals down, I write them in the present tense. And then at the end of the day, I kind of mentally go through them and I think to myself, Did I do something in direction of each one of these goals? And if I didn't, what am I doing? Like, what is the thing? Right? So a lot of my goals are around my family. A lot of my goals are around building a business. A lot of my goals are around being successful in my career at IBM. So I carefully consider on a daily basis, what sub targets am I going towards to make that goal a reality? Like if I want to be the number one seller at IBM, right? How am I going to make that true if today I only spent whatever 3 hours reading up on a new technology and didn't talk to a single customer? Right. And it's something that it kind of grinds on me. So by the end of the day, I'm like, okay, I need to talk to a customer. I need to talk to somebody who's eventually, not today, but eventually through multiple forms of communication, going to want to work with me. But all things require a bit of nurturing, including ourselves, but all things. And so the Dream 100 is a list of who do you want to nurture in your life to create better relationships with. So thank you for that question. I hope it answers it for you. But it's very personal. Like these are the people you'll want to share a stage with one day, or you'll want to interview on your podcast, or you'll want to buy from you and have as your customer. It is my birthday. Thank you. It is my birthday. Thank you for asking. All right. So Dream 100. Take down a notebook, write down, okay, and if let's say you can get 20, good for you. You have a dream 20 and add to it every time you uncover a new personality or you're like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. I really like so and so, right? Oh my gosh, Michelle Obama. Would it be awesome if I could share the stage with Michelle Obama? Psh, dream 100. And if you overdo 100, that's fine too. But the reason it's 100 is because that's a manageable amount. It's actually a lot, but it's a manageable amount of relationships to build as you're growing your business. Thank you so much. I love serving on my birthday. It's actually the thing I try to do every year. It makes me feel, as you can see, I'm like super happy doing it. So thank you so much. All right, here we go. So, Dream 100, write that stuff down, build those relationships. It's more than just writing down a list and following people, it's engaging in those people and feeding into their lives, supporting them. And you will be surprised probably at what a year of supporting your Dream 100 will do. You'll anyway, we'll get into that more. I already talked about this second one, this second tip, but produce before you consume, right? Become a creator. Here's the good news. We are in a creator economy. The world of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, NFTs is moving towards valuing your work as a creator. Hallelujah. You will no longer be forced to buy into a platform like the one I'm using, so please don't crash. Um, but you won't have to buy into a platform in order to get value and exchange value. You'll be able to decentralize, which means you'll be able to decouple yourself from Facebook, Instagram, right? You'll be able to create your own mechanism of for worth of what you have to offer the world. It's beautiful. But the first thing you have to do is become a creator, is actually build stuff. And if you are consuming, and some of us have done this, right? Where you realize you're consuming and then an hour goes by and you're like, oh my gosh, where did my life just go? Right? Um, but if you set an intention, and much of this is about what intention you set, but you set an intention, I'm a producer of content. I create value in the world. And then when you're consuming content, which I love because when I go through my feed and it's all my Dream 100, it's like J-Lo and Jessica Alba, it's The Rock, okay, Dwayne Johnson, it's Ryan Reynolds, like, and it's good stuff. Like these are good people because I want good people. Good people are my Dream 100. And I like seeing them. But I also get really good ideas on what they're doing to make their lives better, to grow their brands, to build new companies. Right? It's really cool to watch them say, "Hey, I'm going to take on this brand and I'm going to help grow it." And see what they do and how you can model it. It's a brilliant, brilliant form. So produce before you consume. Make that a habit. It doesn't have to happen all the time. Sometimes we just want to, get on our Peloton and watch some TikToks. Um, but try, set an intention to produce before you consume. So that's number 2. Ooh, the next one. The next one's like 4 rolled into one. But the next one is about, okay, usually the next question is, okay, what do I post? And how often do I have to post? This sounds exhausting. And I will tell you something I think I mentioned on Monday. which is, and it's something I actually heard Elena Cardone say in one of her events. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. And she said, I'm the only time I'm ever tired, like physically tired and like run down, is when I'm not living on my purpose, when I'm not living in the direction of what I want to do with my life. And I was like, that's exactly right for me. People always ask me, like, how do you get all this energy? Why are you always excited all the time? And I would tell them, like, I don't know. I'm excited about my life. I'm excited about my family. I'm excited about the work I do. I love what I do, and that helps. But the reality is that it's not just what I love, it's what I love that's in a direction of actually serving like the good of humanity, right? Diversifying technology engineering teams, right? With people that are different, have different voices, and build better software because of those different voices. Like it's a mission that drives me, that gets me to get up and get on Instagram Live in the morning, right? And talk about confidence. Yes, it makes you excited about life. And when you are excited, right? It's really, oops, sorry, Instagram. I got a notification and it frees my phone, but I better go ahead and plug it in and make sure that my phone doesn't die. One of the things that you should always do um, is make sure all your devices are plugged in before you go live on a platform. I'm always living, I live my examples. I'm going to put you all over here. Sorry. Excuse me. Pardon me. Oh gosh. Oh no. What's going on? Okay, there we go. I'm back. Hello. All right. Now you're a little further away. So I'll have to like juke back and forth between my two platforms. So great. All right. So we are on number 3, which is actually 4 additional things, but it's the 4 P's of posting. Right? Because Noel's got to have a framework for all these things, right? The 4 P's of posting. Oh dear. Oh yeah, and I forgot to plug in my phone. Oh, no audio. Hold on. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Hold on. Why is it doing that? Okay. Hold on. What's wrong? Hold on. Hello. Hello. What is going on? Hold on. Oh no. Dang it. That's dumb. Okay, hold on. Oh, I think I remember this. Okay. Okay. I fixed it. Okay. Oh no, I didn't. Damn it. Hold on. Test I. Okay. Hello. Testing. 1, 2, 3. I think we're in business. Can you hear me again? On Instagram? Sorry, guys. Let me know if you can hear me. I think you can. May have to go out and come back in. Dang it. You can't hear me. Okay. Oh, wait. Yay! I fixed it. Okay, so for those of you on Instagram, if you ever go Instagram Live, I've seen this happen to so many people. It's awesome that it just happened to me. But one of the things that happens is if you plug in your, where a headset would go in, it disables your audio on Instagram Live, and I almost always see people cancel their lives and come back in, which is like ultimately what you have to do. However, I also have seen people like press these buttons at the bottom to like kick it back in. And so I hit the send. Oh no, I hit the send message button and went back and it worked. Yay. So little Instagram live hack, live and in person. So that's awesome. And it's charging. So that's fantastic. All right, awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. Okay. So this was about to be a really good one actually, right? So it's cool. It's like you guys are my friends and sitting at like a coffee table. And I'm just sharing with you on my birthday the things that I care about the most. So one of the things that I try to do, and again, I don't have time to be posting on social media all day. I have lots of people in my life that need me. I have to make dinner. I have to do dishes. I do laundry. Like I have no help in my house intentionally, like because that's the life I choose. And what I've uncovered is like I have to be pretty strategic in how I go about this, like content development. So I came up with this concept known as the 4 Ps, and it actually combines with another framework, which I'll share with you in just a second. But the first one, these are the 4 types. I always encourage you to have 4 types of things that you post about. And the reason this number 4 is so important is that you don't just want to post about your stuff, right? You don't want to just say, hey, it's me again. I'm selling a thing. Please buy it. right? Ew. We've all seen that sales guy at the coffee, at a coffee um, shop, or that sales guy at a networking event, right? Or saleswoman. It could be either, right? That's like, hey, nice to meet you. I'm selling this thing, right? We don't want that. So let the world know the full dimensions of who you are. And I've put them in 4 categories. You can create your own categories, but I, of course, like the idea that they're all starting with the same letter. So the first thing is post personal stuff. Now, I don't mean post to your children if you're uncomfortable with that. I don't post about my kids. Sometimes I do. I did a reel with my daughter just recently because it's adorable and I wanted the world to see it. But I was uncomfortable with it, so I don't do it very often. And but post personal things, like here's a thing I struggled with and got over. Here's a personal story of me as a child. Here's what it's like. I'm a twin. Did you guys know that? I'm a twin. I have a twin brother. Some of you know it. I'm a twin. I have a twin brother. He's a creative director at Twitter. Hi, hi. I think I'm live on Twitter, so maybe he'll find out. But he's an introvert. I'm an extrovert. That kind of thing. Anyway, but like, there's a lot of stories about being a twin that I could tell. And these are personal stories. They're not to get you to buy something or get you to engage with me in any specific way. It's just to share a little bit about me. So I have that. The next thing, hello, good to see you all. So the first thing, post some personal stuff, right? That's your first category. The second category is all about passion. Find something you're passionate about. And I know you're passionate about the thing you'll probably sell, but not that. That's coming later. Post what you're passionate about, like things you care about deeply, things that move you, things that have hurt your feelings, like passion. And it doesn't have to be your content. Remember, yesterday we talked about not just posting your content, you can repost other people's content. One of my favorite apps on Instagram is Repost, and it allows you to take an existing post and repost it and give full credit and comment, and the captions can be copied over from that original author. So you're promoting, and guess what I typically repost? My Dream 100, right? So I repost my Dream 100 in hopes of getting their message even further, which is a service I can give them, that I gladly give them, that actually serves me as well. But it's really because I'm like, that's so good. Oh my gosh, the world has to know. I'm passionate about that, right? Okay. So one thing that's personal, something you're passionate about, neither of these things you're selling, right? That you're offering. Another one is playful. So this is where you might get in and do one of those, I know, TikToks where you're like dancing. Okay, no, I don't do the dancing. But maybe lip syncing over your favorite song. I do that a lot because I lip sync over songs all the time. I love it. I used to be part of TikTok when it was Musically, and I loved it. I did a ton. If you go down to the bottom of my feed, you'll see all of these lip sync. And I didn't archive them. A lot of people, when they get a lot of followers, go back and curate, right? Like they take away some videos that they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. No, go look at it all. Like I think I cried on one. Like I cry on a bunch actually, or a few. But go, that's who I am. This is literally who I am. But do something playful. Maybe it's playing with your dog, maybe it's going for a walk, maybe it's going to the beach. Whatever you find fun in life, share it so that people can resonate with you. It's the reason for posting on social media is for people to see your post and go, oh, that person's like me, or oh my gosh, I want to be like that person. I want to have that experience. Or, oh my gosh, I know the pain of that experience. I don't want that experience, right? And then they're really interested in how you solved it. All right. So personal, passionate, fun, or playful. And the last P, finally, is your promotions. So if you post 4 times in a week, let's say, right, only one of those posts will be about what you do, what you sell, how you can help them financially, or, where there's an exchange of money. But the rest of it is authentically you. Now, here's a slightly different take, and it's just to kind of add or complement to the 4 Ps framework. So oftentimes I will look at my posts and make sure that there is a healthy collection of 3 things. One, of content that creates a connection. So that's like my playful and my personal content, right? So I create connection content that people just connect with me. They're not buying from me, they just connect with me. The next one, which is critical, is how-to content, educational content. If you have learned something, and by the way, of course you have, right? We all have. As soon as you learn something, do a quick story about it. Do a quick post about it. Put it on your feed. Like I always sell, I got this ring. Thank you, Warren. I got this ring, and it's an Aura ring, and it's basically like a smartwatch. I haven't given up my smartwatch yet, but it has all of these metrics that it gains, like oxygen level. So when I got this cough, I'm like, what's my oxygen level? But all the same things that a smartwatch gathers. It connects with my health app. It's super awesome. As soon as I got it, I posted it. I have another thing. Thanks, Warren. My Wayfarer's glasses from Ray-Ban. They allow me to actually take pictures of my world through my eyes and post it on social media, which is super fun. I've done it on stage before. What a cool like technology. As soon as I learn about it, I share it. I have HoloLens. I have an Oculus, right? As soon as I learn about it, I share it. And those how-to videos, like they create value for my audience. And I'm not asking them to pay for anything. I'm just like, here, I just learned about this. Now you can learn about it. Right? I help, being of service, leading with a service heart, mindset, mentality, being willing to give more than you take. I have a saying that I always say to myself, and sometimes I say it out loud, like now. Um, I nourish the world, and the world nourishes me. And I love this quote. It came to me in like a meditation, and I love this quote because it reminds me that it's not the world nourishes me and then I nourish the world, right? And it doesn't even come out like in my mind. It doesn't make sense to put it in that order. But when I say this quote to myself, I nourish the world, that's what I focus on. Like now, I'm focusing on nourishing the world, giving you all the cool stuff that I've learned in hopes that will help you get your message into the world. And then I'm not asking you for anything, right? But the world, the universe, right? My life experience tends to, all these cool things show up. I get an opportunity to get on a stage. I get an opportunity. I mean, I joined some club and I was super hesitant about it. Turns out they let me use their space for free to do events that I love to do. That's the world nourishing me, saying, don't pay for an event space. Here, you can have it for free. Thank you, universe. Right? That's what we want to do. So be of service in your how to posts. I encourage you to do at least one a week, if not one a day. I know. How do you do what you do every day? I want to share with you. Like one of my productivity hacks is this book. I don't know if it's probably backwards. Getting things done. I love it. I've created an entire process of using it in Outlook. It was funny because I went to IBM, and IBM, when I first got to IBM, wasn't using Outlook. They were using, dare I say, Lotus Notes, well, HCL Notes. And I was like, oh, how am I going to be productive like this? Right? Anyway, the universe nourished me again because we switched to Outlook like 2 weeks ago. Amazing. Who would have thought they'd switch to Outlook like within weeks of me showing up? Coincidence? I think not. Right? So, but here's the cool thing about that. Like, as soon as I learned that productivity hack, I started implementing it and talking about it and teaching it. So, when you learn a thing, teach it without any hesitation. Share it with the world. Do not, one of the things I see people do is they covet what they know, thinking like, I'm going to write a book one day and it's going to be unique to that book, or I'm going to build a class or whatever. Here's the beauty. You could give everything you want, everything you know, and everything you have, you can give for free via social media. That's not how people really acquire and learn the skills. What you'll have to then do is create modalities for them to continue their learning, to apply what they've learned. That's where the magic is, right? That's why, like some of you upgraded, many of you upgraded to get the workbook because it's in applying it. It's not just me saying it, it's me saying it, plus you applying it, plus you getting the replay, plus any other events that we do, right? It's the constant kind of surrounding yourself in the information. And that's what your audience is going to want from you too. So do not be scared. Get your information out into the world. So that the last thing though, so as I mentioned, right, we have the 4 Ps: personal content, playful content, passionate content, and of course your promotion content, but also build posts that connect with people, build posts that teach people. How to posts are my favorite. And guess what? TikTok just upgraded and allows you now to have 10-minute videos. So not every video is going to be 10 minutes. All of my viral content, and I have over 1 million views on TikTok now, all of my viral content is 15 seconds or less. All of it, every one of them. But then, right, what does viral content do? It gives you people, they go, oh, this is funny. Let me go check this person out. And then when they check you out, they spent 15 seconds with you. They check you out. They go to your page and they're like, wow, 10-minute video on deep fake technology, 10-minute video about how to get into an AI and data career. I want to watch that, right? They get engaged. They get involved. It's really cool to watch, right? So give, 15 seconds, 1 minute, 2-minute how-to videos away like candy. Throw it around like confetti because it's why people will come back to you to learn the real stuff that you have to offer them. Okay, so 4 P's. And then, of course, in the promotion P, don't forget to craft the offer. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about that tomorrow as well. But crafting the offer, it's how we'll actually, I'm going to push you out of the nest as new brand marketers, right? How do you get people to buy your thing? There is a magic to it, and it's actually scientific in nature, right? So it will allow you, to build your offer, craft what you do and the value you give to the world in a way that people will exchange money for it. Here's the cool thing, and what I encourage you all to recognize in your mind. It is unfair for everyone involved for you to give yourself completely 100% for free and never have the world exchange with you. So you must create mechanisms for that exchange. Not everything. We call it a value ladder. You're going to have a bunch of stuff you give for free. I'll give you Grant Cardone as an example. He has 7,000 videos on YouTube. 7,000 free videos. Almost exactly the same stuff that's in his books that you pay for or in his classes that you can take that you pay for. But he built that content because he's like, hey, I want you to use a little bit of this and realize that what I do works. And as soon as you realize it works, you're going to come to me for the real stuff. You're going to want the book, the workbook, the class, the immersion workshop, right? You're going to want that. I was one of them. And it works. Like I 10x'd my income over 5 years. Like I totally get it. But it's an ascension ladder. Start with free, build free content, teach people for free. But guess what you have to do? You have to make them an offer. I just taught you all this for free, but here's the thing that takes it to the next level in the ladder. Not just the ladder of your business or your finances, but the ladder of your customers' growth. You have to become obsessed with getting results for your customers, for whoever is going to buy whatever it is you're selling from you. I am this way with artificial intelligence, right? And talking to my customers about AI. I don't want them to just buy into the dream. I used to before I realized, like, wait a second, there's nothing in the dream. Go to the library. Yeah, sorry. I'm almost done. Can you take him? Oh, okay. You can sit him in here. My son's here. We're a little early. That's okay. Come on, Max. Maybe you guys will meet him. So, hi, buddy.
Sorry.
You're okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, sorry. A little close-up action. No problem. Here you go. Oh boy. Thank you. All right, little delay of action. I know, I'm cute, right? Oh, do you want me to get it out for you?
Yeah.
Okay. No problem. I got it. Book bag time. Anyone feel this? Okay, so we're almost done. Not kind of. I got a few more tips to share with you. I feel like we've been doing good. So, okay, where was I? Anyone? Where was I? Let's see. I think I would. Oh, yeah. So I was talking about basically giving, like building your ascension ladder. Super important, right? Creating your ascension ladder. And one of the things, like, I love when my kids interrupt, like, whatever I'm doing. I like it. I like my audience to see it because that's me. Like, literally, I might be 5 minutes late on a WebEx because I have to help my child go to the restroom. Like, that's who I am. and this is why my Dream 100 is so important, because I have customers on my Dream 100. They know what's important to me, but they also know the value I will give to them. And they provide me grace in those moments, right? That's my Dream 100. That's my dream customer. So here's one thing I'll reiterate about the dream customer idea. I literally wrote down in my book my definition of a dream customer. And it was literally like, it was, I won't read it to you or say it to you, but it was like, this demographic has a successful business, is trying to change the world, is concerned about socioeconomic, challenges, is using the money they make in their business to make a difference in the world. Right? I wrote that down. And my vision is that one day I will invite all of my dream customers, when I get there, all of my dream customers, I will invite them into, like, I don't know, a fancy gala in New York City. And when I read this description and I say, who in here resonates with this description, everyone in the room will raise their hand. Every one of them will be like, I'm a business owner. I'm a minority. I care about socioeconomic issues. I, want to help the world. I use my revenue from my business to create jobs for people like me, as well as change, the world for the better. Like, I'm going to have a room full of people that are going to raise their hand and be like, yes, that's me. And it gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. But who is that for you? What is the characteristics of your dream customer? And the more you hold that in your mind, right? The more, the more you will attract those people to you. Or better yet, you'll know them when you see them. And you'll know when you don't see them. There is no reason to have customers that you don't like, or customers that drive you crazy, right? Some of us lower our standards and say, I just want a customer. I don't care who it is. Trust me when I tell you, the Dream 100 is meant to elevate your vision of who you can work with. And you get to be picky. You get to choose who the world, how the world interacts with you and who you interact with. And so the Dream 100 is your way of interacting with that. Okay, awesome. Okay. Adriana, what's up? My friends are here. Okay, so you'll have to catch some of this on the replay because we've gone through so many things so far. Okay, so Dream 100, produce before you consume, the 4Ps. I then went into the different types of posts, connection posts, how to posts, and offer posts. The next thing I'm going to talk about is I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next thing I want to talk to you about is your goals. And this is critical. So we talked about goals on day one. What you need to do is think about what you want to achieve. I'll tell you very candidly, I'm delivering my very first seminar. I've always wanted to deliver a seminar. I've taken seminars, I've gone to seminars. I've never actually delivered one, though it's a perfect thing for me to do. So on a Saturday in April 2nd in Miami in South Florida, I'm going to put on a seminar all about what I'm talking to you now, but then plus business building, right? Because we're not really getting into how to build a funnel, how to create an email list, like how to actually create a business that is valuable, that someone might buy one day. So I'm putting on this seminar, and when I said it, I was like, I want 200 people. By the way, that's not a lot of people, right? If the world has 7.5 billion people in it and someone can come virtually, or like 200 people, right? And it's funny because I told it to my supportive friends, my inner circle, and they laughed a little. Like they were like, that's it? 200? And I was like, well, 200. And so what I'm encouraging you to do in that moment, what I did is I 10x that number, right? Because I was like, what can't fit in the room can come virtually. And I basically just elevated what I was going to do by simply saying, well, yeah, why couldn't I just set that to 2,000? Why couldn't I do that? What's the worst that'll happen? Here's what's the worst that will happen. I will probably go over 200, which was my original goal, right? Because 2,000 is my goal. And when you not only, of course, so I 10x'd my goal for who I wanted to show up at this event, but then my actions have to 10x. So rather than me just going in and, can't like cavalierly reaching out to people, now like every conversation I have is talking about the dream I have of doing this seminar for my birthday, right? Everything I do is moving in that direction. My dad wrote me or gave me a note one day, and he said to me, and it's 2:00, so I'm almost done. He said to me, this like it was like a plaque, and it was like, use every conversation you have, every email. It said mail, every letter you send, every email, every text, every social media post. Use every form of communication you have to promote the dream of the world that you want. And I got it when I was a kid. Like I was, I don't know, 15, 16 years old. And I kept it. I actually recently had a fire that burned most of my belongings. And this plaque survived, kind of. It's completely charred. But I know what it says because I know it by heart. But I love this plaque because it says not just, hey, I'm selling this thing, but what's the world I want? What is the outcome for those people who come to this event? Like, what's the outcome I want them to have? So I encourage you when you have a goal, first of all, set a goal, set three of them, set a personal goal, a financial goal, and a professional goal. At least I have like a bunch. I think I talked to you about that on Monday. I have like 9 goals, but set at least three, one in each category. And then whatever your metric is for success, multiply it by 10 and start there. Really interesting results when you start to do this. Just do it one time. Give it a year, right? And then you'll never be the same. Just like I was never the same after I did that. And now I struggle to keep doing it, but it's when I do it, I end up getting more better results than if I would have just stuck with what I was originally doing. So thank you so much. All right, awesome. So that is one of them. The next thing I want to talk to you about, these are little productivity hacks as you start posting. No blank space on your calendar. And what this means is that oftentimes we lose track of how much time we're using, what we're using it on. And so I have, granted, I use this planner, but it basically has blocks for, every little, oh, that's it. But it has blocks for every like section of the day. And I make sure every section of the day is accounted for. Now, granted, because I use the Getting Things Done book. Oh, by the way, it's by David Allen. So those of you who are asking about the author, it's by hey, good to see you. What's up? David Allen is the author. Uh, but it also promotes this philosophy of no blank space in your calendar. If it's blank, fill it with something. Be intentional about every hour of your waking day. And this is a question I was asked yesterday in a conference on stage. They were asking me in a fireside chat, how do you maintain balance in your life? How do you make sure your kids and your parents and all the things, all the things that people need from you, how do you make sure it stays in balance? And what I uncovered was that balance is not something I strive for anymore. I use a different word. I use the word harmony. I create what I call a virtuous cycle. I use this term. I learned it at Amazon when I worked there. And it was like, how do you create a life where no matter what you're doing, you're creating high energy, positive energy, happy energy, and you take that energy and it's a flywheel, it's fuel that moves you into the next thing, right? So really interesting, concept of like, rather than trying to do, okay, I want to spend 10 minutes with my kids and 10 minutes on this or an hour with my kid. Like they actually don't care about the hour. They care about the quality of that time, the velocity and momentum of our energy, our happiness in those moments. Like today, we're going to go have ice cream for my birthday. And it's going to be awesome and fun. But it's part of the virtuous flywheel. Like I did this, I'm going to be super excited. I have a really cool project I'm working on at work around operational excellence and AI and trustworthy AI and responsible AI, like all stuff I'm super passionate about. And all of these things, as I work on them, build energy within me so that when I show up for my kids at the end of the day, I'm excited and happy. I'm not drained and like, oh my gosh, I have to spend time with you guys now. Like, I'm excited. I'm living on purpose. I have passion and excitement for what I'm doing. So I think that's huge. So no blank space in your calendar because you want to be intentional about how you spend your time and then review it every day against the goals that you set and the sub targets that you're reaching because that's how you're going to get there. You have to literally, it's what I call stats. You have to build the stats. You have to say, I spent time in each one of these things generating the results I want to get. If you don't spend time there, you won't get results. That's just, it's like the law of inertia, right? Like you have to actually move in the direction you want to go. You have to take steps. You have to do work. It's hard. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, really? This seems like a lot. But then I get that letter from a girl who just got her first job in tech and is excited, or I get, an opportunity to speak on a stage with some of my idols of my Dream 100, right? Like it all works out and it's okay. The ebb and flow is okay. But if I don't take deliberate steps every single day in the direction of my goal, it'll take me forever to get there. Every day I can go, oh, I moved the needle this much. Every day I do it, right? In the morning and at night. So, T, what's up? Good to see you. Thank you for joining. All right, the last one, and this is probably the most important tactical one, is content calendar. Content, what we call an editorial calendar in media. Build one because it will help you. And here's the cool thing: Facebook and Instagram allow you, once you build a business page, you get access to a business suite. And in the business suite, there is a calendar and you can schedule out your posts. I'm not asking you to schedule them out forever. I'm just asking you to do a week at a time, especially if you feel any, level of overwhelm. If you are overwhelmed with the idea of posting every day or doing the 4 Ps once a week, like do it on Sunday. Carve out an hour, put it in your book and say, I'm going to do 2 hours. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write some posts. Here's the good news: if you do nothing else, you don't have to come up with creative ideas. Remember Story Archive? Remember the homework for the day, right? Just talk about what's happening in your life. And most importantly, like, what if you picked up a book? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Poof, there's a post, right? We just saw a new movie, Red, not, I always call it Red Panda. Oh my gosh, what other parent is with me? What's it called? Turning Red. Turning Red. Right? We love that movie. There's some good lessons in there, right? Losing control, emotion, breathing. Oh my gosh, good stuff, right? That's a post, right? I got frustrated because I didn't do the things I said I was going to do. That's a post. So be willing to share your authentic self with the world in a way that really, in a way that maybe you've never thought about doing before. Because guess what? The world, we are in a world of social economics. We are in a world of creation, right? Creator economy. And what that means is that before I buy from you, I'm going to look you up on Insta, right? I'm going to look you up on LinkedIn. Before I buy from you, I'm going to find out who you really are. And the more authentic you are with that message, the easier it is for me to go, yeah, I totally want to do business with you. And I mentioned yesterday, Kevin Kelly wrote this really great article called 1,000 True Fans. And I mentioned to you yesterday, if you create something, a book, a series of books, an e-course, all you need is 1,000 people in the world of 7 billion, 1,000 people to resonate with what you've said and buy $100 product from you or two $50 products, right? I call it million dollar math. You just do the work, right? You figure out what you want to do. But you create something worth $100 and you sell it to your 1,000 true fans and you're making 100,000 a year. For many of us, you can make life work there. Like that could work. And it's completely achievable. But the magic, and this is the most important thing, and then I'm going to close. The magic is in building something of value and making it visible to the people who need it most. And the only way to do that is to first know what value you have. And second, create a brand like we've been talking about that shows the world that you care and know about their problems and have a solution for them. It's the critical piece. Most people build a thing and no one ever buys it because they never aligned with the group of in the world. They never went and hung out in the place that those people are that have that problem. You have to know who your people are, and then you have to hang out there and you have to just be of service. It's not, and the rest will happen. There are no overnight successes. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. There are no overnight successes, but you can have success every day. I do. So thank you all so much for joining me. I know it's a little bit longer than normal. I had to make up for yesterday because we had some tech glitches yesterday with the platform, but the platform seems better now, so we're all good. Thank you so much for being here on my birthday. It's been awesome. Please stay in touch. Reach out anytime. And if you haven't joined the challenge yet and you want the recaps for this week, feel free to do so. That is available at inclusioninspires.com, inclusioninspires.com/challenge. If you don't put /challenge, you're going to end up in my event page, which isn't terrible. You can take a look at that too. But inclusioninspires.com/challenge, and you can get all the good stuff. Thank you so much, T, for my birthday wishes. Yes, turning red was good. Yes. And one of my friends at work, she always says this, and I love it. Have the lightest day. Like, isn't that beautiful? Have the lightest day. It's almost like when you go to Disney and they're like, have a magical day. So have a magical day, have the lightest day, and do something for someone. It'll make you feel amazing, just like I feel right now. Thank you so much, and I will see you all tomorrow for day 4 of our challenge. And tomorrow we are going to be focusing on your offer. How do you take what you know and turn it into something you can sell? So super excited about it. I can't wait. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you so much. All right, I'm ending the stream. See you later.